So I was fucking trolling through Reddit the other day, as I do, trying to find content for the show, and I stumbled across this like vintage commercial that I thought you guys would find really interesting. Check this out. So this is like a PSA from like the 70s. Tell me if you feel like this would be effective.
Because so many Americans think getting drunk is fun, we thought you might like to join us in the national drinking game. Just answer yes or no to the following 10 questions. Do you talk a lot about drinking?
Only when I'm awake.
Do you drink more than you used to?
I try to.
Do you gulp your drinks?
Only out of a glass.
Do you often take a drink to feel better? Do you drink alone?
Only if I'm stuck.
Do you ever forget what you did while you were drinking? Do you keep a bottle hidden somewhere for quick pick-me-ups?
How does he know?
Do you sometimes start drinking without really thinking about it?
Sometimes.
Do you need a drink to have fun?
I do now.
Do you ever take a drink in the morning to relieve a hangover?
Uh-huh.
Congratulations. If you had 4 or more yes answers, then you may be one of over 9 million Americans with a drinking problem.
That actually like hit pretty heavy.
Yeah. You know what they did so perfectly, I think, in the execution of that commercial is the very relatable situation that I think we've all been in before, where you're at some sort of social gathering and everyone's having a really great time, and then someone, like whether accidentally or on purpose, like says something that really drops the mood, and it's like there's the kind of like awkward laughter that like falls into the like a real bummed out fucking state, and everyone's like, oh, why'd you say it like that? You know, like we were joking, but now it's not a joke.
Now it's serious, and I have to think about myself.
I you know, you're watching it at first, and you are kind of you're like, haha, this is kind of funny, and then by the end of it, you're like, oh, shit, dude.
See, I thought it was going to be like a really like out of touch commercial for like why you should drink initially. Like,
why you should drink. Yeah, right.
I thought it was totally. Like, I mean,
yeah. I mean,
like,
think about like when you watch Mad Men.
Too,
when you're watching Mad Men, like the way they smoked and the way they drank in the office and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So when it started off that way, I was like, this is really funny because it's just so ridiculous.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden it really
Then
started
it gets
to hit,
real.
and I was like,
What's kind of crazy about all of that and drinking in general, like drinking culture, I guess, in general, is that when you are like, I don't know, 20, 22, like mid-university age-ish until like maybe your mid to late 20s, it's like a totally fine, acceptable, and expected for you to like tick the boxes on almost all of those questions. But then it's like somehow society then goes, oh, but like all of these habits that were like we were like very okay with in this formative habit forming period of your life, you shouldn't do those later.
yeah.
Okay, so now this is a really great point that you bring up here,
because
and
that's an illness.
but to also kind of segue here, do you think that if you were in your 20s and that commercial played, do you think that you would watch it and go and like take a second to reflect on your drinking habits and like maybe change your habits based off that commercial, based off watching
I think that was very effective because of the way that it started out, and you were like, yeah, like I'm saying yes to that, and then they go
for you now, but do you think it would be as effective for a 19-year-old?
That's really tough to say.
Right.
I don't know. We should show it to a 19-year-old and see what they think.
Okay.
It is tough to say, but I like to think it would be pretty effective, but
so
maybe I'm out of touch.
Yeah, this idea of like controversial or like shock-based ads to present a PSA.
Yeah.
It's obviously been around for a while.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you can
not
think
even once.
I'm sure you can think of some others that have like happened as of late. They've definitely upped the shock value in the last decade, in the last decade and a half.
Oh, I see where this is
But
going.
do you think so? So now think about how you would feel as that being effective to someone in their 20s for drinking, Okay. Now, do you think this ad would be more effective to change a young person's mind about the way that they drive?
She's got a smile that it seems to me reminds me of childhood memories.
It's pretty cute.
Where everything was as fresh as the bright blue sky.
Sticks his dinky in his pocket.
I'm sad already.
Yeah, I don't even want to watch
I'm
this.
sad.
This is coming out of
When I
Ireland.
see her face, she takes me away to that special place. And if I stare too long, I'd probably break down and cry.
Buckle up, fellas.
Oh my God! Don't say that.
Ooh, sweet child of mine.
Whoa, dude!
Since 2000, speeding has killed a classroom of our children.
Oh,
Shame on you.
sweet love of mine.
You can never control the consequences if you speed.
Shame on you.
Whoa! Seamus on you.
I don't know if you guys heard it, but there
That
is.
was a lot to handle.
That was fucking intense,
Dude,
right?
I thought
that
I was
was
going somewhere
nuts.
totally different.
So I don't know if you caught it, but when the car rolls over the children, I think they
I
did.
can't believe I'm laughing. It's hard not to laugh.
I think they did this to lower the intensity of it. Look, Brian, I know this is gonna make some work for you, but can you in post go back and show this part right here? Did you hear that little like? There's like a comic,
yeah.
like a
Cartoony.
like when it rolls over the kids, and I guarantee you they made the ad and they're like, here's the fucking ad, and the you know whatever, like the drivers board of Ireland was like, holy Christ,
Dude.
can we add some fucking sound effect to make it not so.
You know
like
what
they
is-
needed to do something.
You know what is one of the most fascinating things about seeing an ad like that is, like ads they take, ads that are going to be played on TV that are sponsored by government. You're going to get all these people involved. There's going to be ideas rolling. There's going to be conversations. People are going to be tossing out different ideas. When they settled on this idea, you know that there was less extreme versions that were put forward.
Oh, for sure.
And more extreme versions.
So okay,
Yeah, dude, I don't know how you get more extreme than that. That's like that.
it's pretty
I want
extreme.
to know
was
what they
laughing-
turned down.
I was laughing only because like when you get like you're so disturbed by something that like the only reaction that sort of comes out of you is like this like whimpering laughter. That's
I mean,
how
it's
I
kind of
feel
it's
from
kind
that.
of like the scene. It's kind of like the scene in Hobo with a Shotgun where they flamethrower.
Yeah,
Where they
yeah.
flamethrower the school bus full of children, and
Yeah.
you're just
my
you're
jam.
You have to laugh. You have to.
Yeah.
You
Because
really do.
Well, otherwise there's no other way to process that.
So I know that was an Ireland ad, but here's the thing: is like these shock ads aren't exclusive. They're a lot of countries have adopted them. A lot of countries have put them into place. Canada ranks at the top, at the highest echelon
In like intensity.
of intensity. It's specifically the Workplace Safety and Insurance Board of Ontario put out an entire ad, ad campaign. I think it was the campaign was called Prevent It.
Is it a competition though?
think
Like,
I saw
the
th- I think I
fact that
saw
there's a
some of those.
ranking
Well,
is kind of crazy.
Let's rank this one here.
I can't imagine there's something worse than what we just saw.
I'm the sous chef here. With any luck, I should be head chef by next year. I've got this amazing fiance, who I won't be marrying this weekend. Because I'm about to be in a terrible accident. But really, I should have cleaned up the grease over there. And they should never put the deep fryer so close.
Whoa, dude.
You know what? And I cut away at the worst spot there because at the end you see her bubbling, boiling skin, and I cut away by accident.
I honestly think we need a trigger warning before this stuff. I
It's
feel like
intense,
that is
man.
like that
Dude,
makes
and
me feel
Guys,
like
I just think that they're
PTSD.
funny.
Man, whoa.
I
Okay,
just
well,
think they're funny.
You're
you
not.
can't
You're
say
not
that.
going to think. So this is.
You
You're
can't
not going to
say
think
that.
this one's
I
funny.
can say it, and I did say
You're
it.
not going to think this one's funny. This was released 2 years after. So that ad there, the chef. There's several of those. I didn't queue them up, but there's one where a guy's driving a forklift, gets impaled through his chest. There's one where a guy gets caught his shirt gets caught in a mechanical conveyor belt, and you see his finger. It's fucking gnarly. You see his finger crack.
I want to say
there's one that's really fucking radical, and
Where
we'll
do they
watch
play
after.
these?
I want to say that I find that I do just think they're funny, but it's that they're funny that I think about it and I go, oh, whoa.
It's fun. Yeah, it's funny because that is your reaction to something that's so horrifying that like you're going. It's like your body going. Like,
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah.
But do you think it's funny because you know it's an actor and you know that it's a commercial and
yeah.
you know that the
Because-
shock value is fucking someone
Yeah,
up, and
because-
you're going.
Yeah,
Because
and,
when
and,
I
you know,
see
like
it,
I
I-
kind of love watching people squirm. So
when I
Yeah.
see it,
Yeah,
I
yeah, right.
actually like
Fucking
I'm-
psychopath.
I put myself. I feel like they do it. They film it in a way that you put yourselves in the shoes of somebody who's really like watching that happen. And so when I'm watching it, I feel like I immerse myself in that
Yeah.
and see it as being real.
I think
And then
I think if
afterwards, it fucks me
let's
up.
see if I cut back. Oh, it starts over.
I'm the sous chef
I wasn't
here.
sure. I wasn't sure if it cut back. If we
It
get to
does-
see her bubbling skin, if
it
that would
does
change your
make
mind. But
it does like at the moment she slips, it does make my taint kind of.
dude, there's one.
I go.
There's one. Well, I'll show you after. But there's one where a woman's in like a struck tube or like an IKEA, like a furniture store, and she's trying to change a light on like a
Allegedly.
on like an 11-foot ladder, and she's reaching and she falls. Dude, the stunt work. I was like, I immediately was like, whoa, yeah, dude. Like this
Yeah,
is
from an
falls
actor's
through
standpoint.
a glass coffee table. It's brutal. But the same. So Workplace Safety and Insurance Board 2 years later put out another ad. This was after they shocked the nation with a series of these fucking ads.
Shocked the nation.
And so they put out another ad that they were like, okay, you fuckers know what's coming. We're gonna hit you with another one.
No.
Workplace Safety and Insurance Board is asking you to make safety a priority in your workplace. You
I
can
mean,
do this
don't
by
back
always
up
wearing proper
in a
safety
work
equipment,
workplace.
demanding proper training. Know your rights and responsibilities, like the right to refuse unsafe work.
They're playing with
And
us.
always look out for your fellow coworkers.
Yeah, dude, walk
Because
forwards.
when you make safety a priority, guys, you help prevent injury.
Workplace injuries and deaths are preventable. If there is a random zombie attack, run like a
Run
For
like
more
a
safety
motherfucker.
tips and a chance to win a killer laptop, visit preventit.ca.
So that actually was a
that
WSIB commercial.
That was
and
a government commercial.
That was, and I think they released that because
Yes.
2 years later they were like, we really fucked a lot
Yeah,
of people
dude.
up. Let's
Yeah.
make a bit of it more of a jokey, but also kind of fuck them up. Still, like there's something. I
bet-
loved it.
I
love
bet a
that.
lawyer reached out to them and was like, "Hey, listen, we're gonna have to hit you with a class action for all of the PTSD and trauma
Dude.
that you've triggered in people from seeing those commercials."
I don't know this for sure, but through doing my trying to.
I wonder
like,
if they can do that.
Trying to gather this stuff. I read somewhere that one of these WSIB commercials played during a kids television program.
That's a slip up.
That's a fucking boo boo.
But
But
guys,
wait.
I
having said that,
I gotta admit this though. I thought the other ones were funnier.
yeah. Well, having said that, coming back to this point of of kids, do you think that this, right? So this like echelon of like truly shocking is more effective than the the vintage one that I showed you for children and kids and stuff. Or just young people in general.
See for young people, again, I think you're gonna get a lot of young people that think that those are kind of hilarious.
Well, you want to hear something really interesting?
I feel like the older one is more effective. I just feel like that is like.
But maybe that's because we're all
trauma-inducing.
like in our 50s.
Yeah.
In 2005, the state of Montana was battling a huge problem with meth usage among teenagers and young adults.
I know
And
these.
so Montana the Montana Meth Project began a really gritty campaign of shock ads aimed at cutting down the state's raging meth problem.
What year was this? I was
It was-
shown these
it was-
in high school.
It was
Meth, not even once.
That's right.
That's it, right?
It was 2005.
Yeah.
The Montana Youth Risk Behavior Survey, conducted by the Montana Office of Public Instruction in coordination with the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, found that between 2005, so when it began running, and 2009, the meth use in Montana dropped by 63%, while meth-related crime dropped by 62%.
I will say, having seen these, I saw these in 2008, I believe. I went to school in the U.S. and they were using this as I think that this was the discussion. It was in a health class, and I think we were discussing the idea of like how it affects you and what you think about it. But I will say that having seen some of these ads, these not even once ads for meth,
Did shake you up?
They're not funny. They're just dark.
Right.
They're just super dark.
Right, but
it's
this,
surprising to hear you say
but
that.
this is funny, right? Let's just watch this one more time because this is fucking.
I'm the sous chef here.
This shit is hilarious.
Any luck, I should be
dude.
head chef by next
Look
year.
at this lady. She's about to be head chef.
Yeah.
I've got this amazing fiance.
Look at that. She's in love.
I think
I
that's
won't
the
be
thing
marrying
that's
this weekend.
funniest.
I can't look
Oh
at
wait,
it.
Is the
Because I'm about to be in a terrible accident.
what does she mean?
But really, I should have cleaned up the grease over
Oh,
there.
that looks heavy.
And they
She's
should never
admitting
put the
fault.
deep
Watch this
fryer
fall.
so
Ow! Oh my god, dude. Oh!
I mean,
So how funny is that, Taylor?
She
Huh?
admitted,
How funny is that?
She admitted fault because she didn't clean up the grease. That's
I honestly, I feel sick.